Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and we are here for the return of one of the biggest shows online right now, and that is season number 4 of Stranger Things. It's been a while, it's been a hot while, it's been one of the hottest whiles we've had in a long time. It's been quite quite a few years. I'm pretty sure season 3 was back like 2017 or 2018 or something like that. Like it was definitely like pre 2020, and thanks to COVID, it was definitely one of the shows that were where the production, I think production was both delayed and staggered and halted and all of the above because of COVID and everything. And so this season has been on hold for the longest time, and so much information about it has been up in the air. And I think they did kind of like release like some like bits and pieces in different kind of in different successions. I think like casting information was released, and that they actually announced that new characters would be joining and new people would be joining and everything. And then that trailers were released here and there that kind of did like do their best to kind of confirm different fan theories, but also just to really accurately give us a glimpse of what was going to be coming up in the season. And yeah, also the fact that no one involved, like because of how imperative it was for stuff to stay spoiler free and stuff to stay secret until the actual release of the show was. I think the cast themselves had actually, even once they had actually wrapped filming and everything, I think they just had no option but to wait with the rest of us and everything. And I think even in that time, since they finished filming on this season, I think the cast like actually went on to do their own thing and actually did other projects along the side of it too. And I think season 5 has been announced to also be the last season. Season 5 is where Stranger Things will end. So I think they've confirmed that it's actually their choice, and that's the end, and that is pretty much the extent of the story they want to tell. And I think even from the beginning, I think they said that I think even from the beginning, the Duffer Brothers did say that their plan currently was to get to season 5 and then see how they felt and see where they're at. But now it's like, what, season 5, I think that's pretty much like how far our ideas really extend to, and that's the story we want to tell. So unarguably much better to actually end it when they're happy and when the story is good and when they actually reach like a like an actual like a solid ending and everything, as opposed to just kind of dragging it out just for the sake of ratings or money or whatever. So it's gonna be sad when it's over, but I think as long as we get like a good story, that's good. I think pretty much anyone would be kind of happy with actually getting a good story and actually getting a good ending, as opposed to actually just getting it just for the sake of it. So but yeah, I think we have like a bunch of new characters. We have almost everyone returning for this season, or everyone who's still alive. And even Hopper. Hopper has been confirmed. I think Hopper was confirmed in one of the teasers too, to very explicitly be still alive too. Because I think that was one of the biggest questions raised after season 3 ended too. Like, is Hopper alive? Could he have actually survived? Like, did they really kill Hopper off and everything? And then people were, kind of on the fence and on different sides and everything. And then like an actual a very specific teaser. Um, Showed that he was alive, slightly well, or mostly well, and in like one of the gulags in Russia as well. He was actually clean shaven and working as like a prisoner, constructing railroad tracks. I think it was in Russia. So I think he was maybe found or abducted or whatever. I think we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out in this season. So yeah, so he's alive. I think even back then I loved that was one of the first things they confirmed, because they knew that no matter what kind of teaser they release, the one question on everyone's minds will be, is Hopper alive? Yes or no? That is literally all we care about right now. Like to begin with, at least, that's all we care about. And then afterwards, it's like, okay, now what's the story? Is the Mind Flayer coming back? What's the story with the Upside Down? This, that, and the other, because that was the biggest question, especially with how Hopper and Joyce and their dynamic and their characters actually kind of developed and continued in their own lives in season 3. I think that was the biggest question too, like with how much they built up, and then to have Hopper kind of die so suddenly and everything. So yeah, so Hopper is alive, and we now have to wait for him and Joyce and the fam to kind of reunite in the show as well, and maybe in Hawkins or in Russia or wherever, maybe in California. I think in California too, because that's where Dr. Owens actually relocated them to. So, and that's the whole thing too. So he relocated 11 and the Byers to California to keep them safe and everything. So they've moved over there, and I think the ending to season 3 too was just a heart jerker and a tear jerker and a heartbreaker and everything. So they moved away, and those connections became a lot more distant, and things changed for everyone. So Yeah, but then the ending to season three did show us that glimpse of Russia and the fact that the Russians have a demagogue too, so then that was like definitely like the tease of like, oh, like another story is definitely on the way too, so then that's like another question they have to answer, and of course like is, you know, if Opera actually is dead, because then they teased the American thing over there, so we had that, and then of course we had the lovely, the amazing, the astonishing Robin Buckley on season three too. She was a great new character that they actually added to. So very excited to see where her story's heading, especially after her coming out scene in season three too, confirming that she is a lesbian as well. Very excited to see exactly where they head with her and like her friendship with Steve and how they kind of develop and how they thrive and everything in season four. Seeing where they take their characters in this new season will be very exciting to see. And yeah, I think we have some newcomers too. I think I think one of the trailers actually did show us like a new face. I think like the guy with the D&D setup too. So I think maybe they could be bringing. I mean, they got to be bringing back D&D in some way in this too. So maybe it's like a new kind of club that's starting, or like a new kind of crew, or like, you know, maybe like the kids who are still in Hawkins actually still trying to reignite some kind of D&D game. And everything, so that'll be fun. I think Amy Beth McNulty too, I think she played Anne on Anne with an E. Haven't seen the show, but I've heard great things about it. But one of the big things they actually, because I think they actually made like a very specific video, like showing like how the Duffer Brothers were actually big fans of Anne with an E, and especially that of Amy McNulty as well. So then they actually announced that, you know, that she would actually be joining the show, and she'd actually be like a more prominent and very very kind of but like a pretty kind of like heavily featured character on this season too. So hopefully she so looking forward to seeing when she comes on, and hopefully she survives too. Hopefully she actually lives and thrives and everything. So that'll be cool. But I think the biggest kind of the biggest kind of change to see will be just how much these kids have all actually grown up to. Because I think especially because production was halted too. I think like originally the plan would have been to show the kids having like a more accurate kind of growth spurt. I think with COVID having taken place too, I think one of the bigger kind of changes would be them having more time to actually plan out a story and maybe change the story or tweak the story in ways that they couldn't before. So then maybe because of that, they could have easily had it so that more time has passed, and especially with the kids having aged and with the adults even having aged too, I think maybe the more logical route to take would be, okay, so more years have passed than we originally planned, so that's why everyone looks older and things have actually changed and everything, and then that gives more space for the story to breathe and more space for things to have actually manifested and happened and everything. So because I think one of the most common ways they've teased this season is that the stakes have been higher and this season's about to get a whole lot darker, so then actually giving this like world more time to grow and breathe and everything will actually kind of, I think, add more kind of leeway to have that happen and everything. So yeah, I think this is also volume one. So I think this season actually is actually so freaking big that this season is just volume one, and I think it's on. I think it's on July 1st. I think it's July 1st that season two, the volume two, comes out as well. And not only that, but pretty much each episode of volume one and volume two are like at least like an hour and a half long, or like an hour and 15 long. Like it's well over an hour. But also the season finale for season four is up to 2.5 hours long. So needless to say, for reactors, this season will be quite a endurance testing task to actually kind of edit down and to make reactions for. But you know, I think it's, you know, I think obviously like shows in general probably like really just aren't like fully made with reactors in mind. I think, you know, should like, you know, filmmakers and showrunners actually want to make like their stories with their own ideas and their own visuals and their own kind of concepts in mind too. So I think that they will happily make their stories as long as they need to be, and that's good. You know, they absolutely should prioritize their own kind of you know, visions in mind too. But I think, yeah, needless to say, for reactions, I think this is gonna be just one. This is gonna be, it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time. So I think, yeah, actually binging this in your own time, you know what, I fully respect that and I fully applaud that and everything. But yeah, this is gonna be a long one. This is gonna be a long one. So yeah, I think, but when I heard about the season finale being like 2.5 hours, I was like, wow. So it's like they're essentially kind of actually culminating everything into like an actual full, like into an actual like a feature length kind of movie type format too. So yeah, I think even the budget for this season is just like bigger than they've ever done before. So I think everything should be alright. Like everything, I think you can reasonably expect everything to be on point, from the writing to the directing to the cinematography to the visuals. The everything has you know, has got to be bigger than they've ever done before. So yeah, we are in for a wild ride. We are in for a wild ride, and then God knows exactly how season 5 is gonna roll out too. So so yeah, but that is, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've really all I can really remember. I don't know exactly like how they're going to split time between different locations in this, from Russia to Hawkins to California and everything, and how things are going to go. But I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. So, and yeah, I think, yeah, now we're back. Stranger Things is back, and I'll be, reacting to every episode of this season and the next season as well. So stick around, and we can all enjoy this hell ride together. So, yeah, Stranger Things. That's it. So Stranger Things, season 4, episode 1. Let's jump right in. Number 10. Number 11. Oh, that's 11. That's Elle's room.
6 and Dr. Ellis. Dead.
They're dead.
They're both dead.
6 and Ellis are dead. Demogorgons? Could it be? Or was that this early? Oh, did 10 die? So 6 and 10 are dead. Oh gosh. Who or what is doing the killing? Jeez, all the kids are dead. So is this their way of explaining the other kids' disappearances then? Is it Elle? Is it Elle? Did she do this?
What have you done?
Did 11 kill all the other kids? Is that why they're not in the show? Oh, that music. Oh, been so long. Oh gosh. So is that why they're not in the show then? Because I think that's been the longest mystery, like for the longest time, like, who the other kids are, where they are. So I mean, if they're all dead, then it would explain so much. But then 8 is alive. I think 8 is who Callie is, or Carly. I think her name is Carly. The Hellfire Club, nice.
I have to make something called a visual aid.
Visual aids.
I hope Mrs.
Is that
Grayson will give me
Hopper?
an A.
Is that Hopper in his cabin? Aww.
Purchasing it. Some exciting news.
Joyce,
Joyce got
Winona.
an amazing new job.
So good to see you
She
again.
gets to work at home.
Ah, yeah, remote
I'm not
remote
really
working
into
in the
her.
80s, yeah.
She says she loves the... He won't show me what he's working on. Maybe it is for a girl. I think there
boy.
is someone he likes.
Or anyone?
Because his
Oh,
hair
Gail.
is longer than mine. And he and Jonathan like to smoke smelly plants together. Jonathan says the plants are super safe because they come from the earth. But to not tell Joyce.
Oh, yeah, make sure you don't tell Joyce.
Me? I am twice as
Oh,
happy
Gail.
now.
Oh, Alan Turing. As opposed from Alan Turing.
It just takes time.
That's cool. Doing research on him.
Hellfire. Why don't you just call it the high school dropout club?
I want
Oh, gosh. Papa Wheeler's got no chill.
That's a negative, Dusty Bun.
Oh, Susie! Susie and Dusty Bun, they're back. Yeah. They're doing more duets. Please tell me they're doing more duets.
We're gonna be late.
Don't come in, I'm naked!
Running out of time here.
Just hold your horses, Dusty Bun.
Oh gosh, what are they doing? Are they changing the grades? They're changing the records? Yeah, they're changing the grades, aren't they? Latin D minus.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh,
Yikes, Dusty.
yikes. Oh, she expected better. Susie Poo expected better. Oh, praise the big
I will
man
repent
himself.
later.
Oh, repent. Please tell me we get more of them. Please tell me we get more of Dusty Bun and Susie Poo.
We both know what this is about, okay? I'm not buying that bullshit. This is about Vicky.
Absolutely not.
Vicky?
Yes,
Who's
it is. You know what else I
Vicky?
think?
Maybe your ego's a little bruised, but I asked out the wrong girl, and bam, I'm a town pariah.
Yeah, I'd buy that, except that Vicky is definitely not the wrong girl.
Is she?
She returned Fast Times. Do you know who pauses Fast Times at 53
Fast.
minutes 5 seconds? People who like boobies. Boobies.
Oh, they a big moment
Okay,
at that
I
point.
like boobies. You like boobies. Vicky likes boobies. Definitely. It's boobies.
It's boobies. Everyone loves boobies. Who doesn't love boobies? Gosh. Vicky, please tell. Is Vicky gonna be someone we know? Is that gonna be Amy Beth McNulty? Oh, the human pyramid. The human pyramid. Oh, that's her. Is that her? I can't tell. I think that might be her. Yeah, that's gotta be her. Yes, that's Amy Beth McNulty. Yeah. Oh, and Robin's with her in the band. Oh, they're both band girls. They're both band girls. This could go very well. This could go, and hopefully goes very well. Yeah, that has to be Vicky. Gotta be Vicky.
And of course, I have to give a special
Oh?
shout out to the best
What happened? What happened between them?
Chrissy.
Oh, that's not Chris. That's
Chrissy, I love you, babe.
that's Chrissy. Okay. Okay.
Think of Jack. Think of Melissa. Think of Heather.
Oh,
Think
people
of
who
Billy.
died. People. Oh, Billy Hargrove. Yeah, people who died.
Think about our heroic police chief, Jim Hopper.
Who's still alive and well in Russia. Yeah.
I'm tired of being bullied. I'm tired of girls laughing at us. I'm tired of feeling like a loser. We came to high school wanting things to be different. I skipped tonight. That's all out the window. So I'm asking you guys, as a friend, just talk to Eddie. Get him to move Hellfire. Come to my game. Please.
You have mail from Russia. And a big part. This is a big box. This isn't just like a simple letter. This is a big proper box. A toy? A doll? A Russian doll? It's not a nesting doll. I think it's just nesting dolls are smaller. Is that a sign that he sees you as a doll when he called you doll? I don't know what I meant to interpret from that.
I have chosen Helen Keller.
Helen Keller, yeah, because she was deaf and I think mute as well. Jane Byers. Jane Byers. Oh God, I'm getting secondhand embarrassment and anxiety at the same time. That's lovely.
I chose my dad. And for my visual aid,
What's wrong with their dad?
a diorama of our
Di-
cabin.
Diarrhea.
And we like to watch Miami Vice on Fridays. This is Mr. Fibley.
That's not gonna go well, is it? That's not gonna go well.
I thought this was a presentation about a historical hero. My dad was in the newspaper. Your local paper? He was a hero for people.
Oh, she has the most smug face. She has the smuggest of smug faces.
I just wanted clarity on the rules of the assignment.
Oh, she's gonna be so fucking annoying, isn't she? She's gonna be so
Technically, you are
annoying.
correct. But Jane has decided to do her father.
Oh gosh. God, I'm gonna hate those kids. I'm gonna hate every single one of those kids, aren't I? So what's happening between Max and Lucas? Are they not together anymore? Did they break up? I mean, it seems like he's already moved away from the group, so I think maybe... Chrissy? What's happening with Chrissy? That's not Amy Beth McNulty, no. I think she had to be in that crowd. I can't tell. She looks so different, obviously, from how she is in Anne with an E. I don't know if we've actually seen her yet, or if I'm just imagining things.
Well, she's working 2 jobs, so it's not easy.
Must not be easy for you either, with your stepdad gone.
It's kind of better.
Oh, so he's out of the picture now. Yeah.
People just change, okay? That's it. I've changed. It's that simple.
The group has really splintered, hasn't it? Whoa. Whoa, someone's been sick. A cheerleader? A band player?
Hey, are you alright?
Chrissy? It's Chrissy.
Chrissy?
Oh no, that's not a normal voice.
Mom?
Oh!
You're Chrissy, or I'm gonna cut you like the fat pig that you are!
Oh God, that's horrible!
Did you hear me?
Oh, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. No, I wouldn't even open the door immediately. I'd wait like a good hour after that. I'd be waiting.
Ritual sacrifice, sodomy, suicide,
Sodomy? Really?
and even murder. As long as you're into band, or science, or parties, balls into laundry baskets.
You want
Oh,
something freaky?
jeez.
Speaking of monsters, Lucas has to do his
Speaking of monsters, Lucas.
balls and laundry baskets game. So he's not gonna be able to make it to Hellfire tonight.
You want to postpone the cult of Vecna.
The cult of Vecna.
I'm gonna snatch that diploma and I'm gonna run like hell out of here.
Didn't you say that last year?
And the year before that. Yeah, and I was full of shit. This year's different.
Oh,
This
okay,
year,
I'm sure. I'm sure.
my year.
Wait, can you undress her?
What?
The creepy doll.
Is there gonna be
Can you
something?
remove
Oh,
her
thank God for that
dress?
bottle. Thank God for that bottle.
Okay.
You want her to undress the doll? Is there gonna be something hidden inside the clothes?
Bug or something?
It's cracked.
It's cracked.
There's something inside. Maybe it was broken
Cracked.
and something was put
The
inside.
porcelain's cracked, and they tried to glue it back.
Yeah,
together.
something's hidden inside.
Okay, rope and something heavy.
What for?
Smashing.
Rope and something heavy for smashing? Why would you need a rope to smash something?
What do you think? Call it a weeder. You get it, man? Like a feeder.
Wait.
Clever. Where you going, man?
And I think it's way past due you give that right hand of yours a vacation and get you some well-deserved hanky-panky.
Okay, first of all, Fred, I'm going to try to forget
Oh,
that you
did
said any of
Fred say the same
It's
thing?
gross, dude.
Ah.
You just don't understand Nancy.
Do you want to join Hellfire?
Oh, no way you asking Nancy. No. Tell me you've at least ran that situation in your head a few times before you approached it.
Can you fight with dice?
Oh, even asking
But
wrestlers?
these aren't your normal. They have up to 20 sides.
You really have to... You cannot be asking...
Can I get one of those cool t-shirts?
Yes.
Really?
Everyone gets a t-shirt. We make them ourselves. And if you...
Sarcasm. Sarcasm.
No.
Not even chess players want to do it. That could be her. I can't fucking tell. You know, it's been years since Anne with an E. She could very easily have aged and stuff, and she obviously has aged. So I don't know. A clock in the middle of the woods. A clock in a tree. That's the clock. That's the creepy clock. Oh no spiders! No spiders! No spiders! No.
I wouldn't remember me either, Chrissy. Honestly. I have stuff in my hair. You don't remember me? I was with my dad.
Corroded coffin.
Corroded.
Oh my God! Yes,
You do
no,
remember,
of course,
right?
with a name like that, how could I forget?
I don't know. You're a freak.
Corroded coffin.
No, you're not what I thought you'd be like.
Mean and scary? Yeah. Well, I actually kind of thought you'd be kind of mean and scary too. Terrifying. So.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God! I hope Mr. Fibley's okay.
Oh. Oh god, Al, you don't have your powers.
Did someone do this?
Yeah, them. Them.
I tripped.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Al, just point them out.
All right, Angela.
Yeah, that's right, accountability.
Let's go.
Accountability.
Tell her.
I mean, she should have known the powers wouldn't work, right? She hasn't had them in ages. Oh, the rope. Oh, so that's why I need the rope to smash. You really... She doesn't have a hammer. She has to go... I mean, not that this doesn't look cool, but she really has to go with the most elaborate thing. She can't just use, like, a hammer or something.
Come on, kids.
You see, with a hammer, you could avoid this. With a hammer, you could have avoided this.
If that porcelain belly is pregnant with an explosive device, you will soon...
Oh, right, hammer would be too close range. Okay, you know what? I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
Joyce, are you there? Talk to me, Joyce! Joyce!
She's fine.
Joyce!
Yeah.
It's a letter, a coded letter. Yeah, oh, with this little magazine stickouts and everything, yeah. Hop is alive, he looks... Oh, Hop is alive. Great, so that's, you know, episode 1 confirmation right there.
Does it bother you that, like, we might win a championship, like, right after you graduated?
You know, yeah, that's an interesting point. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Brenda.
No, that's her. See, that's Amy Beth McNulty. Okay, she looks okay. That one, she looks the same. That's Amy Beth McNulty. So she's not Chrissy. She could still be Vicky. She could still be Vicky.
All the way from Nashville, Tammy Thompson.
Tammy Thompson. No way. Thingy. Robin's original crush. Tammy Thompson. Crush number uno. Crush numero uno. That's Tammy Thompson. Oh, she's cute. Oh.
Can you see?
Okay, no, she's... Her voice like a Muppet.
Okay, she does.
Wait, who...
Totally sounds like Kermit. It's like Miss Becky. I used to think that she sounded good because I had this massive crush. I'm sorry. We took a massively hard class together. We were in Mrs. Click's class together.
I mean, hey, it's Amy Beth McNulty. She could easily be playing a sapphic character for all we know. She could very easily be playing a sapphic character. Yeah. Yeah, I have hopes. I'm just gonna put it that way. I have hopes.
Sounds amazing,
I have hopes.
doesn't she?
Well, hey, see, he said she's from Nashville, not that she's a successful singer from Nashville, so... The Hellfire Boys. Erica, of course! Why did you not think of her to begin with? You donated a freaking D&D book to her from in the last season. Why was she not plan A? Why was she not the first choice? How was she not the first choice? Probably because it was during the school day, I don't know. But god damn, yes, Erica! You can't spell America without Erica. Ugh.
My name is Lady Applejack, and I'm a chaotic, good, half-elf rogue level 14. And I will sneak behind any monster you throw my way and stab them in the back with my poison-soaked kukri. And I'll smile as I watch them die, a slow, agonizing death. So,
Erica Sinclair.
or we gonna keep chit-chatting like this is your mommy's birthday?
Oh damn, that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. Damn, of course, Erica, she's the, I don't even know why I didn't think of her,
Vecna's dead. Killed by cat.
So it was thought, my friend, so it was thought.
So you thought. Oof, the Vecna lives.
To the death.
Stand and fight to the death.
To the death.
Let's kill the son of a bitch.
Winners find a way to win.
I love the parallels, yeah. From basketball to D&D.
Get me the ball.
Give me the D20.
D20? Oh, that's a big one. Is that the main one? I've never played D&D, I don't fucking know. Should be obvious by now. Or can they parallel it with one in the hoop and a perfect 20? That's an 11! Oh, an 11 is a miss. Oh god, and they missed the hoop too. They missed the hoop as well. Oh, planted feet. Can Lucas at least, can Lucas be the fixer? Oh no, Lucas and Erica, please, let the siblings get a win. Let the siblings get a win. You got this. Oh, can it still count though? Can it still count? Can it still count? Oh. 20! Sinclair's for the win! Sinclair's for the win! Sinclair's for the win! That is how it's done. That is how it's done. The Sinclairs never lose. Sinclairs never lose. Sinclairs never lose. Lady Applejack to the win. Lady Applejack and Lucas Sinclair for the win. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, there you got your sister to join the D&D game. Oh, Eddie with Chrissy. Eddie and Chrissy. That's interesting.
Sorry I'm late, sweetheart.
Oh, his guitar.
Beautiful.
Is she gonna have another one of those visions while she's here? Is she gonna have another vision? Oh no, the clock! No, no way the clock is here too.
Huh?
Oh, her
Just
mother.
loosening this up for you, sweetheart. You're going to look absolutely beautiful.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Chrissy?
Oh, she's in a trance. She's in a trance. Oh, I was wondering, like, if she actually left or something, but no, she's in a trance. What the hell is this? What happened to her brother? What happened to her brother?
Can you hear me? Wake up!
Smelling salts. Smelling salts, how many of those?
It's time for your suffering to end.
Oh, his things are moving. The muscles are moving. Oh, she's levitating. Oh. No, don't kill Chrissy. Please don't kill Chrissy. Please don't kill Chrissy. Oh. Oh. Oh, no. No, don't tell me they killed Chrissy. No. No. Fuck. They killed Chrissy? God damn it. Oh god, that was horrifying. That was horrifying. Oh. Jeez. That was a packed season premiere. It definitely felt like it hit just past the hour mark and everything. So I think nothing feels drawn out or like too long or anything like that, but I think it definitely kind of like does feel like, you know, this is what needs to be here, and they're actively introducing you to key aspects of this new season and what this new story is going to be and everything. So very introductory. So yeah, geez, where to start? So I think that intro alone. So we had like back to. I was writing so quickly. I wrote it in the American format, 9/8/1979. So it was the 8th of September, 1979. Which I think that definitely, because I think even like season 1 actually does take place in the even with the flashbacks. I think season 1 actually does presently take place in the 80s and everything. So 79 would definitely be pre-season 1. So that was Hawkins' lab, and then we saw the young Elle. And everything, and we saw the rainbow room and everything with all the other kids in there. We had like 10 and 8. I think 8 wasn't shown. I think 8 wasn't shown, or at least she could have been. She definitely could have been shown. But I think even the L they had there, I think because it was 79 and like not too far away from the 80s where we see her and when we're introduced to her in season 1, I think that definitely indicates, I think that they definitely obviously could use the same L. But I think that L looked, I don't know if it was just me. I don't know if it was just me seeing things or me kind of wanting to actually kind of be remnant accurate to that time. But the L that it seems like the L that the L that was shown in that clip too, I think she definitely looks somewhat closer to how she did in season 1 too. I think I don't know if that's just me seeing things, or if what they did, if the makeup job they did on her was so good, they actually kind of, I mean, could have been a combination, could have been actual de-aging too, could have been them actually using present day Millie Bobby Brown and actually de-aging her and even using makeup to actually kind of make her look like what she did back then, because she was like a literal child back then too. So yeah, but either way, Brenner was there. He lived in Hawkins obviously, and he got his morning paper and his breakfast, and he did the crossword every morning on a timer, and he got dressed and went to work and everything. So there was that, and then he went in and he, I think on that day he actually conducted experiments on number 10. Number 10 I think all the kids could have. I don't know if all the kids at the same time. Because I think when I was watching that scene, one of the questions that came into my head was like, is there like any kind of pattern to what powers the kids have? Like, are they connected anymore? Or are they like is there like a sequence of different mental abilities that runs in, like a pattern following a sequence, or what is it? Because I think Elle has telekinesis too. We've seen Elle definitely has telekinesis too. And I think one of the other kids had telekinesis too. She was moving the little metal ball through the maze and everything, so she had telekinesis. But then Carly had hallucination powers. She could make people see things that I think it included things they feared, but I think she could also make people see what they want to see because what she wanted them to see, because I think she still made those cops in the car envision the bridge falling down and everything, which stopped them and everything. So she has hallucination powers, and I think the others kind of had like different powers of their own and everything. And then I think number 10, I think number 10 could see things. Number 10 could actually see the way that things happen and everything. So or at least they could see like the pictures that that Brennan was drawing without actually being able to physically look at them, and then they could actually envision people in other rooms and stuff, which then led to disaster. So I think they could actually kind of have that kind of extra vision, whatever you want to call it. So they had that power, and then but then I think that flashback, I think I'm assuming that flashback, I'm kind of wondering if that flashback actually could be canon, because then I think that would mean that then I think surely that would be something they would address from season 1, that it would be something that they actually kind of like include in that kind of story, like 11 being responsible for like doctors and guards and even the kids actually dying in that kind of incident too, because I think from season 1 the only flashbacks we really saw were like with the way she was used in the deprivation tank and the way she was used by the lab, but then also like the fact that she made contact with the Demogorgon in the other dimension, and then she was the one who created that break in reality that allowed the Demogorgon and the upside down stuff to actually come through and everything. So that was like the kind of extent that they showed us in that one. Then I think season 1 did give us a bit of backstory on her and her mother and everything, and then season 2 gave slightly more backstory as well, especially with Carly as well, actually showing off the other kids and indicating that there were other kids with powers from the Rainbow Room as well. So there was that. But yeah, I think the flashback actually showed I think pretty much most, if not all, of the kids dead. I think the only other kid that we know who survived was Carly, who was number 8. But then I think I didn't really count all the kids' bodies we saw in that scene. So I think for all we know, it could include all the other numbers that were there and all the other kids that were there. But either way, there was a massacre at Hawkins' lab under Elle's kind of control. So I think, again, like given like exactly what that flashback showed and exactly how it kind of runs in tandem with the rest of the story, I'm kind of wondering if that actually is something that really happened, or if it's something that maybe Brenna feared, or maybe if it was just like some kind of like, maybe it's like an alternate, like in an alternate universe that's what happened or something. But because I don't know if I mean, with the Upside Down already being its own alternate universe too, I don't know if they actually add like another one to the mix and go for like a multiverse thing. I mean, probably not, because I think with the way Stranger Things has gone too, I think they've kind of they've definitely kind of like maybe not for lack of trying, but I think they've definitely kind of shown that they're not really kind of delving into multiversal stuff too much, because it's meant to be like an actual kind of like a horror thriller type thing, and not like a too, you know, sci-fi or spooky or anything. So I mean, until now, I think this episode is clearly definitely setting the tone for spooky and stuff. But I think they definitely kind of restrict them. I think maybe a mix of maybe not so much restricted, but I think they've definitely kind of chosen to go the path of actually like not necessarily not strictly going into multiverse stuff, but just showing off like how the alternate universe isn't just an alternate universe, but it's like an opposite to their universe. Like everything in the other universe runs in kind of opposite kind of correlation to their universe, with the darkness and the lack of life and the monsters and the twisted kind of contortions of reality in that one too. So yeah, I think if it's not if it's not yet another universe where maybe 11 went dark, or maybe if 11 kind of, because I was wondering maybe if possession could play a role in that flashback too, like maybe like 11 didn't consciously or willingly kind of kill all the other kids there, or all the other guards there, because I can imagine her killing the guards, because they would try and stop her, and the doctors would be running tests on her. But I think I couldn't imagine, especially like her knowing that the other kids are in the same boat as her, I can't really imagine her killing them willingly. So possession is like maybe like possession of the Demogorgon of her body could be like an equal thing too, because then that kind of created the link between them, and then that's why she could kind of more easily stop the Demogorgon than anyone else. So I don't know, maybe. So either like I think like less likely is like another alternate universe thing where 11 went darker from the moment she unlocked the Upside Down, or maybe could be like a possession thing, maybe like a thing that still happened in this universe and in this continuity, but then maybe one that for some reason they never really addressed as much, that she's actually responsible for the other kids actually not being in the story because they're dead or something. So I don't know, but it was a very interesting intro. So I can't wait to see how it actually kind of plays in to the rest of the story and how they actually incorporate it as we continue further throughout. So should be fun. And then, of course, we flash forward to March 21st, 1986 and onwards. So yeah, the kids are in high school. So I think I think, well, I mean, what's her name? Nancy and Jonathan are. I think I feel like they must have already graduated, right? Because Jonathan. I was gonna say because Jonathan is waiting for his acceptance letter, but I'm pretty sure you can still probably get that even like before or after you graduate, and then even if you're still in high school, because then you move on almost immediately after you graduate. Like you graduate, then there's summer vacation, then you start college and everything. So pretty sure that can kind of still happen and everything. So yes, I think they're probably kind of still in high school. I think Jonathan's doing like kind of carpentry or woodwork or something, and then Nancy is running for the school paper and everything too. And I think probably even hoping to get the editor job or the editor position. So they're close to moving on with their lives and everything. But I think that they're both in different places too. Like Jonathan is in California, and then Nancy is in Hawkins as well, so there's that. So they're doing the whole long distance thing too, and then I think this is making almost everyone, or at least like it's making their friends question exactly how strong their relationship is and how like exactly what their plan is for each other and everything. So that's fun. But yeah, there's Argyle, the extremely long-haired friend that Jonathan has that smokes pot with him, that smokes funny earth plants with him. So yeah, and of course they're the one that's like, oh, don't worry, it grows from the earth, so it's friendly for the environment, but don't tell Joyce, don't tell Mom. So yeah, so there's Argyle. I think I've definitely seen the actor for Argyle in like a few different places too. I think he's been like in like a few different kind of teen comedy, teen drama type things. So he's that kind of an actor. So there's him, and I think he probably most likely introduced Jonathan to pot, and then Jonathan does that. He smokes in his room, and then drives a pizza truck and everything. So there's that. But he's waiting on the acceptance letter, and he's kind of also, debating going to see Jonathan, or at least actually, I think Nancy is waiting for Jonathan to go to Hawkins and everything, but then of course I think also Nancy is also actually seeing if it would be easier to go to him and sort their relationship out that way, but From what I gathered, they're not really going too weekly. I think there's nothing inherently wrong with their relationship, but then maybe just simply the long distance kind of puts that kind of strain on them as naturally as it probably would for them and everything. So yeah, I don't know, but it seems interesting. So there's Argyle and Jonathan, and I didn't even probably catch the actual editor's name that Nancy works for, but there's him and Nancy and everything. So that's fun. And then, of course, there's Steve and Robin, of course. Steve and our lovely, lovely, lovely Robin. So I think they're probably still working the video store. I think we at least saw like that scene of Steve working the video store and everything, so that's cool. I think Steve, he mentioned like a few different names. I think he mentioned like Elaine or Linda or something. Or I think Robin tried to mention Linda, and then there was Brenda that he was actually walking through the bleachers on through the crowd on the bus with him. He mentioned like a few different women, so he's a few different girls rather, so he's probably he's probably seeing or has seen a couple of different people, so that's cool and fun. But Robin, there's Robin and there's a Vicky. There's a Robin and there's a Vicky. So I am 100% willing to bet that Vicky is Amy Beth McNulty. I am 100% willing to bet that that's Amy Beth McNulty. It has to be, because again, Amy Beth McNulty playing a sapphic character. Give it to me. And I think this is even more incentive. Honestly, even more. I mean, her being announced to be joining the season was enough incentive too, and then her actually being in the show, that being announced way back when was even more incentive. But now actually seeing her in the show is even more incentive for me to actually kind of get a start on Anne with an E at some point, maybe after this volume or after the season, just to get a start on Anne with an E and see what that's all about. I've honestly heard nothing but really good things about it. There's a good it's a really good period piece and a coming of age kind of drama type show that deals with a lot of different themes, and it's like a really good kind of it can get emotional and dark at points, but it's also it's really kind of wholesome, and you do nothing but love Amy Beth McNulty as Anne, presumably with an E, throughout the whole show, and then there's like a whole kind of roster of other kind of characters that make you fall in love with them too. So I've heard nothing but good things about it. So yeah, I mean, feel free to share your thoughts on it too. If you've watched the show, if you've watched the show, and if you enjoyed the show, then feel free to leave your thoughts on it too. But yeah, Amy Beth McNulty, I'm willing to bet she's Vicky, and I'm willing to bet, down the line things are gonna kick off. Things are gonna start kicking off between her her and Robin and everything. I mean, even Robin are kind of making that good point too of, still the 80s, so homophobia still unfortunately a thing. So even her making that comparison of like, if Steve asks out the wrong girl, it's fine. On the one hand, plenty of efficiency, and also like, he can easily kind of like, he might get like a bruised ego because, how could anyone ever reject Steve the Hare Harrington? But then that'll be it for him. He's a guy, and he's a straight guy at that. So or presumably straight. So things will work out for him still. But then with Robin, she's pretty exclusively and pretty strongly a lesbian, so if she asks out, like potentially most girls in Hawkins could be the wrong girl for her because they don't roll that way. So then if she does ask out the wrong girl, then it's freaking hell on earth until she moves out of Hawkins and changes her name and does some other shit. So yeah, things are obviously going to be like a lot tougher for her and a lot harder for her to handle in the dating sense. So yeah, but I think she does very clearly have like somewhat of like crush on Vicky too. I think Steve mentioned it was actually Vicky who paused Fast. I think Fast Time's original on her. I think they even mentioned that in the last season too with okay, what was her name? I think what was her name? I can't remember the actress's name. The actress, I think they even had the actual kind of the standout thing, the cardboard cutout of her in the actual video store too, of like her, I think her in like a bikini or something, and everything. I think even that, I think I'm pretty sure like even in that scene in the movie, she's coming out of like a swimming pool or like coming out of like a fountain or something, and she's wearing a bikini, and it's very visual and erotic and everything. And then I think that may as well be what he's referring to when he says like she returned Fast Times, I think like 3 or 5 times, but paused at exactly kind of 53 minutes and 8 seconds or something, and I think that, and I think he followed that up with that particular timestamp has boobies, and everyone loves boobies, and I was like, you love boobies, I love boobies, everyone loves boobies. I think that is for him. I think for Steve that is the like that is his kind of moment of like, he's a little confused, but he's got the spirit, so he understands that straight men and reasonable straight men and lesbians just love boobies. So yeah, for him that is the comparison that he draws between himself and Robin. So yeah, I think it's going to be fun actually seeing how their friendship actually in that sense actually develops through the season 2, because again he was nothing if not understanding when she came out to him in the Starcourt Mall bathroom as well. Like I think he confessed to his crush on her, but then she let him down gently and even told him the truth about how she actually feels about like girls in general, and he was nothing if not understanding, and then from that point on cemented himself as the queer ally that the Stranger Things fandom and people in general need, and especially in this time and place too. So he cemented himself as nothing if not a friend by her side to help her and even like berate her taste in girls, and to also kind of like help her be to be her wingman and everything when necessary, and even her being his as well, his wingwoman. So yeah, very excited to see Steve and Robin's kind of friendship kind of develop in that way and seeing where they take them. And also I think hopefully Robin Buckley, our sweet Robin Buckley, gets a girlfriend this season in the form of Vicky, played by Amy Beth McNulty and everything. So give us that. Give us some sapphic content in the 1980s. Give us some sapphic content in the 1980s. Give us that. Why not? Just some happiness. Would not kill anyone. I think, given the way the season has already started, some happiness is actually already very much kind of in like it's already due. It's very 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 much kind of long overdue. So yeah, Robin and Vicky, very excited to see where that's headed. Very excited to see where that's headed. So fingers crossed. So yeah. And then there's the group too. There's the group of kids that we have, like Mike and Dustin and Lucas. And Lucas, I think Lucas has moved away. Or I think he's not intentionally moving away, but I think he's just kind of like he's found his own passion. He's found his own clique. He's found his own somewhat of like a future with the high school basketball team and everything, and he's good at it, and I think he's good at it. He fits in, and like they seem to treat him nicely enough too, and he fits in, and there's no kind of other kind of like unnecessary differentiation or unnecessary treatment going on there. So I think I think also like they are in high school too. I think in seasons 1 to 2, I think they were in like middle school or elementary school or something. So not fully up to date on how the actual kind of kind of year kind of like actual kind of year group system works over in the States. So don't really know exactly what elementary school or middle school is meant to be, but yeah, that's that. So I mean, I don't know about like grades 1 to, I don't know how many fucking grades you have, but yeah, but I think now they've actually moved into high school too, so I think that kind of gave him like a fresh ground, fresh start to work with, and he's clearly skyrocketed too. He's like in with the team. They like him. They treat him nicely. He's one of the popular kids now, and he wants to kind of keep it that way too. And also like obviously new season, new start. And like most, if not all of them, are pretty much under the notion that things are back to normal now. There's no more upside down stuff to worry about and everything. So there's no monsters to chase. Like there's no monsters or evils or threats to fight yet that are in real life and everything. So they can easily at least try and go back to their normal lives and their human lives and everything. And I think that's what Lucas wants. He wants to be normal again. He wants to actually succeed in life. He wants to stop. Like he explicitly said he's tired of being bullied. He's tired of people laughing at him. He's tired of people treating him differently or even worse and stuff. So yeah, so then he's found his place within the basketball team, and I think the difference being he still wants to hang out with his friends, because I think you can still see his heart and his face literally sink when he literally saw his friends coming out of school with their D&D group. But then with his sister in tow too, like when he saw his sister with him, he was like, oh wow. So they've already replaced him. Like he asked them if they could actually ask Eddie to postpone the game because his game was on, and I think he wanted to actually kind of pay that the appropriate amount of kind of respect that it deserved and everything. I think he also knew that D&D is more of like a social thing that people that they individually can decide. Like there's no council or no like actual kind of like official kind of ruling for when D&D takes place like that. That's when that group decides. But then with the school decides and the team decides when the stuff takes place, and that's more official. And it's like, I think it's also the fact that it's definitely, I think even as Eddie actually pointed out too, it's like basketball and like school, like sports and those kinds of more like those kinds of activities like sports and music and science. I think that like those things are easily more like socially accepted and respectable and everything. But like D&D, like even him reading about the D&D stuff in the paper, it's like, oh, this thing promotes devil worshipping, Satanism, even sodomy. So I mean, pretty sure sodomy is another word for anal, right? For anal stuff, that kind of thing. So I don't know exactly how far or how deep that D&D goes with that. But I think it promotes. I think even back in the day, I'm pretty sure that was like even in real life, like from the beginning of D&D being a thing. Pretty sure that those were actually real life concerns that parents themselves actually, and I think parents, but also especially religious and Christian parents too. I think Christian parents especially actually did express those concerns in the newspapers and in public. They actually expressed those concerns that D&D contains like dragons and demons and magic and witchcraft and all these different things that the Bible apparently kind of goes against and everything. So I think everything he read in that newspaper was actually kind of real concerns. I think those I think maybe took inspiration from real life real life letters that were sent into the paper or different things. But yeah, I think that kind of social status kind of thing that he tackled actually was like a real thing too. But then I think even in this context, the social status of the D&D kind of stuff going on would not take the highest precedence. It would really not take the highest precedence. And I think, again, because it's not something that's officially run by the school either, they literally wouldn't care less. They'd be like, you know what, you can do that in your own time because that is literally something that you do in your own time, whereas this is funded and put on and like allocated by the school. They're supporting this, and this looks good for the school too, like an actual sports thing that makes the school and makes the kind of city and town and country and everything look good and everything. So they care easily more about that, and even like the music and the sciences and all that kind of stuff. So I think Lucas kind of got lucky enough to actually kind of find himself excelling in that kind of category, and because of that he actually got kind of like a pretty high rank, and he is treated well and respected because of it. So he doesn't want to let that go or anything. But then to see that, I think his friends, I think for him, like to see that his friends not only didn't come to his game, like his ex-girlfriend didn't come to his game. We'll get to that in a second too. I think his friends didn't come to his game. Not only did his friends not come to his game, but then they also actually opted to bring his sister along to D&D too. So they essentially subbed him out. Too. So can't be easy for him to see. So then I think he then just kind of goes on to party and stuff, have like a victory party with his basketball teammates and everything. So Yeah. But yeah, Max and Lucas broke up. They actually confirmed that Max and Lucas actually did break up in this, so that's kind of sad. I think they were definitely one of the kind of not to say that any of the other ships are necessarily unlikable, but I think they were definitely like an actual pairing that I enjoyed watching, and they definitely kind of fit well together, and they definitely liked each other. At least I mean, there's nothing to say that they don't still like each other. I think there's definitely kind of some distance and some coldness between them, because I think Max is so distant. I think it's also, I think it definitely does feel like Max is the one who called it off too. Like with her obviously going through like her own shit. I think she's so much more visibly going through her own shit. Whereas I think, not to say that Lucas can't be going through his own struggles, but I think he's also like he's also found his place, and he's also like excelling, and he's actually he's finding some success in the current period of his life with basketball and with the team and with the whole social kind of grounds of the school and everything. So I think he's having like a somewhat easier time. But I think with Max, I think she's so much more visibly actually going through like a tougher time at home. I think her stepdad's out of the picture now. I think after his son died, the stepdad left the picture and everything. So that's been like a major bonus for her. But then her mother's drinking, and she's kind of like in grief probably over Billy's death, and I think Billy died too. So I think she's grieving, her mother's grieving, but then her mother's drinking too, and then she's kind of like she's in counselling too. She's been going to counselling too. She's had like nightmares and visions, and she's had all sorts of different kind of things going on in her head that don't really bode well on things. So I think she's kind of like I think she just kind of thought generally she really isn't in a good place, but then she's also especially not necessarily in a good place to actually continue a relationship with to continue like a relationship with another person. So then she had to, I think maybe she felt like she had to break it off and everything. So yeah, so I think again, nothing to say that like they're not still friends at least, but I think even then, I think currently that kind of term is kind of being used loosely too. Like she actively kind of doesn't really kind of have the time or like the right kind of mindset to spend with Lucas, even as friends, or even with the boys. I think Elle's gone too. She lost Elle. Elle moved away. She was like her only girlfriend in this town, and she was the only other kind of female friend that she had in her life, and the only other kind of close connection that she had. Like Elle and Max in season 3 were a fucking duo to be reckoned with and everything. So I think when Elle moved away too, I think that was pretty much like her only other connection kind of gone, and then she has no one else in her life that she actively feels like will be worth talking to, will be worth kind of like understanding and everything. I think maybe she also thinks that like it's best to leave Lucas to the success he's now found himself in, instead of actually kind of bringing him down with her issues and everything. It's like a self-deprecation kind of tactic too. So yeah, Max is really going through it. Max is fucking going through it. So yeah, and then there's Eddie. So he is a very entertaining and peculiar character already so far. So he seems fun and very, very kind of high energy and very on like kind of tiptoey, and keeps you on the edge of your toes too, on the edge of your seat and on your toes and everything. So he seems fun so far, and he is the kind of newest kind of D&D related character we have this season, and he's also the leader of the Hellfire Club. He's the leader of the Hellfire Club, and that is the club in the D&D club they have in high school that originally Max and Lucas and Dustin, not Max, Mike and Dustin and Lucas joined, but then Lucas obviously he also I think maybe he also had basketball on the side just to keep something grounded and like to have something else to actually turn to and everything. But then of course basketball being like an actual team sport like funded by the school and everything like that has more kind of set hours and more kind of demands and everything. So then he essentially just kind of like faded away and actually kind of like lent into that a bit more too. He couldn't be there for the final game, for the actual conclusive game of this kind of campaign, the Cult of Vecna. So I think Vecna is actually a name I've heard will be the same way Demogorgon is like an actual monster from the game too that was used in season 1 and season 2, or at least like for season 1, like season 2 had the Demodogs and the Mind Flayer, and like Mind Flayer and Demogorgon are like the monsters from the game we've actually had so far. And I think I've heard that Vecna is like an actual creature / monster within the game that I think that they're going to be incorporating in this season, so that's going to be Vecna. I wonder if the Vecna is going to be that monster that we see, the one that was in Chrissy's nightmares and everything. I think I'm wondering if that could be the Vecna. I think the thing with the little kind of vines coming out of it, and like the one with like an actual kind of a more human looking body. Like this one has like a face and eyes and a nose and a mouth, and like all those little kind of like intestine looking pieces actually move around his body and everything. It's got like a huge clawed hand and stuff, and My goodness, my gushness, so the cult of Vecna, so he's on who leads the D&D campaign and leads that team and the group and everything, and he's the DM, he's the dungeon master. So, and I think given how he already is outside of the game, I think, and also based on what we saw of him inside the game too, he is obviously like a high energy, fast paced, and very dramatic and very enthusiastic kind of DM, which is what you want. You want an enthusiastic DM who can tell a good story and everything. So. Yeah, so that looks really fun. But yeah, Erica returned. Erica, of course, I honestly, I mean, I think it may have been for the humor, for the actual comedic value of watching them try and fail with so many different people. But then it's also like the obviousness of the fact that they're asking so many people who wouldn't be. I mean, not to judge, because I think it's something you can actually say more in the modern day now, is that, you know, you shouldn't judge based on history or judge based on like appearances. Like anyone can still try out D&D and see what they think of it, like before they don't like it. But I think back then, now I think especially in that kind of a society, in that kind of climate, that kind of time, especially with the newspapers being filled with so many complaints and so many judgments towards strange things, towards D&D, I don't know why they went towards the people who so obviously wouldn't be into it, like the wrestlers and the science people and the all sorts of other people who wouldn't be like into that genre or into that kind of story and everything. But then they literally donated a book to Erica in the finale of season 3. Like she should have been plan A. She should have been easily the first choice they went to, and then she would have actually told them yes. I think it would be hilarious if she said no to begin with, but then joined them because then she had nothing else to do or something, and then she ended up winning the whole campaign. But still, no. Then the actual reveal is so much better. They come out the whole way, and you think, oh, maybe they're actually. I thought they were going to be coming out the whole way with the other members of the Hellfire Club in tower as they went to their kind of designated den or something, or maybe if they actually kind of had like another surprise thing in store, which they did. But then the fact that they actually came out with Erica actually made so much more sense, and it felt like so much more kind of satisfaction of like, oh yeah, not only did they get someone who's actually who we know has been given the time and the chance to actually study D&D and to get into it properly, but it's also someone that we know and love unarguably. I mean, to each their own, I think, but if you don't like Erica Sinclair, then, you know, I mean, what are you doing? But Erica Sinclair, just absolutely the perfect choice. I think even when she came in actually with like an American flag wrapped around her too, to tie into her quote, like, you know, you can't spell America without Erica, and then even kind of impressing Eddie with her stats too, like her being like, I think like a half rogue, like elf level, like a level 14 kind of character and everything, like even her actually kind of surpassing his expectations and actually kind of actively even actually be standing her ground in front of him and actually, you know, showing that she's actually a worthy and impressive kind of person to add and to even sub in for Lucas too, and even like him being like, you know, oh, Erica Sinclair, the infamous Sinclair kind of sister and everything. So yeah, Erica Sinclair, the return of the almighty Erica Sinclair and everything. So yeah, and she went in, she came in, she came, she saw, she conquered. I think Dustin got like an 11, he didn't really get enough, but then she got the perfect 20. I think the parallels between the D&D match and the basketball game, oh my god, I actually loved it. I could not help but love it. I think even the basketball game, even the basketball game to some extent was actually entertaining to watch in like in certain ways and everything. But then I think the parallels of like Lucas catching the ball and being the last one to shoot that score, I thought maybe, especially because I think at least the way it was edited, it showed that the actual the buzzer went off before the basket actually hit the loop, and before the basket actually hit the hoop, I thought maybe then, you know, because the basket wasn't already in the hoop by then, it wouldn't go through. So I thought maybe, but then I think maybe like in that case it would be like, you know, oh, if it doesn't go in now, then it's definitely lost. But then if it still goes in, then they can still maybe count it. But real time and real perspective, it could have been the fact that it could have been the case that they you know, they actually managed to go in just as the buzzer hit or something. But then even like the parallels of them huddling up and coming up with a battle plan in D&D, and even the team actually huddling up and coming up with the plan for their match and everything, like the parallels, it was parallel grid, and I think it was parallel to actually show the slow kind of the actual gradual growth of the ongoing fight and the ongoing battle to win both, like, you know, matches and battles and everything, and then it culminating in the actual flawless victories of the Sinclair kids as well. Just amazingly done. Like, you know, hitting that perfect 20 with the dice, and then actually getting the basket to actually kind of hop around the ring for a second before actually landing in the net and everything, and then him winning them the game, and then her winning them the battle and defeating the Vecna and everything. So that was really nicely done. So yeah, I gotta say, like, I think I'm gonna just a quick note before I actually talk about her character later on. I think Chrissy, the actress for her, reminds me so much of the Twitch streamer Mika. She reminds me so much. I think the actress herself actually reminds me so much, like quite a lot of the Twitch streamer Mika. So I think, you know, I'm gonna say probably safe chance they're not related, or they probably don't even know each other. But I think just like so much of the time, I think on the one hand I was getting so confused, like, is she Amy Beth Minotti but just aged, or is she not? But then she doesn't look like her at all, so I don't know what to think. But then it's like, on the other hand, it's like, wait, chances are she's not Amy Beth Minotti, but then she looks so much like Mika. She reminds me so much of Mika. So there's that. But no, I think that was Chrissy. But then I think who we have Amy Beth McNulty playing, I think I'm gonna safely presume that must be Vicky. And I think that is also the girl that currently Robin is crushing on, and she is too scared to confront in that way and everything. But then we know that they're both in band. I think or that they're both in band, but I think Vicky is in band. Chrissy is exclusively a cheerleader. Chrissy is a cheerleader, but then Vicky is one in band, and also Vicky and Robin are in band. Vicky and Robin are both in band too. So yeah, but yeah, Vicky too. Vicky is played by presumably played by Amy Beth McNulty, and I think they had like a kind of moment in like among their band members and everything, like on the sidelines when Tammy Thompson came back. Tammy Thompson came back. She was like the kind of alumni from who had moved to Nashville and everything. To be fair, the headmaster never said she was actually a famous singer or like a successful singer in Nashville. He just said like, oh, all the way from Nashville, which is, I mean, known for producing its own pop stars and everything. But I think he said all the way from Nashville, Tammy Thompson and everything. So Tammy Thompson came, so we finally meet Tammy Thompson, and you know, even once she starts singing, I think then Steve and Robin actually then silently looking at each other, actually reminiscing, like, you know, I told you, voice like a Muppet. And she's like, yeah, okay, fine. Maybe she does have a voice like a Muppet, but she's cute, okay? She's cute. So there's that. And then even Vicky actually agreeing, like, yeah, she does sound like a Muppet, like more like Kermit and stuff. So then that spawns like the briefest of conversations with Vicky and Robin too. And then even Robin, like, ever so briefly kind of lets loose that she actually had like a massive crush on Tammy, but then slowly corrects herself because she doesn't know if she can be that way, if she can be herself in front of Vicky or not. So then she has to correct herself and hold herself back and everything. So then I am 100% willing to bet that, you know, Vicky is at the very least kind of sapphic. She's sapphic in some way, and she's actually does roll that way, and she's actually and you know, like, we hopefully get plenty of time between her and Robin in this season, or at least in this volume, or in this season as a whole, to explore to explore that side of her in this season. And maybe even like I think actually kind of like them two talking about that and actually addressing that and actually discussing that between them could be the key that brings that actually brings Vicky forth to come out to Robin too, and then maybe both of them being the horror girlfriends that we need in this story. Maybe them two being the girlfriends, the final girlfriends, the horror girlfriends that we need in this story and in this time and place to help, you know, kick some monster ass and defeat the evil at the end of the day too. So who knows where we could be headed. But I think it's Amy Beth McNulty, so I feel like you know, again, it's like, again, I say I feel like she could play a sappy character, but I think I've never seen Anne with an E, and I've never seen anything else that she, I don't remember seeing anything else that she has been, if she has been anything else. Don't know if she has actually played a character like that before, if this would be her first time. But either way, I've got a good feeling. I've got some vibes going on. So hopefully those vibes pan out, and you know, we get like a happy kind of story between them and everything. We get to see where they go with her. So yeah, I really don't think it's too much to ask to give Robin a girlfriend. I really do not think it's even that much or too much to ask to give Robin a nice, happy kind of girlfriend and give her like a happy life story of her own and everything. So you know, I guess we can just wait and see. But yeah, that was, Vicky and Robin, and one of their many moments to come. So yeah. And then of course we had Chrissy Cunningham too. We had Chrissy Cunningham, who is the school cheerleader. She's on the high school cheer team and everything. So she's that. And yeah, again, I think she reminds me she looks so much like Mika. She looks so much like Mika from Twitch, and and everything. So she just can't, like, every time I looked at her, it's like half like one hand is like, okay, she could be like my eyes could be playing tricks on me, or maybe she just really is like a really aged Amy Beth McNulty. But no, but then it's like once I saw Amy Beth McNulty at the end, it was like, no, that's definitely her. She obviously has aged since And with an E, but then it's like she hasn't aged unrecognizably. Like, she's still her. She's still very recognizable as her. And I think she's in band too. I think that should have been my first clue. That should have been my first clue, that she's in band, whereas Chrissy is on the cheer team, I think. But for some reason my dumbass thought that, oh, maybe you can actually be on both, or maybe you can interchange or something. But then it's like they showed Chrissy for, like, in that same clip, in that same scene, they showed Chrissy first and then jumped over to Amy Beth on the band team too, with Robin literally right next to her too. So I don't know, just my mind decided to actually connect those two faces together, and then thought, oh, maybe it could be one of the same person. But no, Chrissy is another character entirely, and I'm not sure who the actress actually is, but she's another character entirely. And sad to say, I really don't think she survived this episode. We got her for like one episode, and that was it. And we got, I think it's probably somewhat fair to say we got like a fair enough, like a fairish mix of like of kind of like a history of trauma and nightmares, combined with her kind of, I think, ironically enough, like her, I think she had like one soft and sappy moment. She had one like happy moment with I don't even know, I can't remember what his fucking name is. I think the Prince Charming basketball player dude, I think him, that they were together apparently. I think they are together and everything. But then we literally never saw them hang out. We never saw them hang out. Who we did see hanging out? Her and Eddie, because I think she actually bought drugs, and I think she bought like weed or something off of him and stuff. So and I think even her and Eddie actually had like somewhat of a history together too. I think at least having seen each other kind of perform in the talent show when they were younger too. So I think they actually had more time to spend together in this episode and everything. But then we literally saw Eddie, we literally saw Chrissy and the basketball player dude actually hanging out or even like addressing each other once, and then that was it. We never actually saw them actually dating or hanging out or even any flashbacks or anything. So don't know if they're saving that for the future now that she's potentially dead or something. But yeah, oh god, they had to kill. They had to. I was growing to like her character so much in this episode, and then it's like, yoink, just gonna, oh, you're getting attached to this character, you're liking this character, let's just take her away from you then. That is pretty much exactly how the writers approached her in this episode too. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she's dead. After that ending was just fucking horrifying to see. But then I'm pretty sure she's actively dead too. I'm pretty sure she's actually dead and dusted, and her eyes sucked into her skull, and her in like a trance and everything. So yeah, but she had like I think she had like some nausea and some nightmare stuff going on too. I think she had like a history of abuse. I think she had like a history of like abuse and trauma at the hands of her mother. I think she had like a family, like a damn near picture perfect family, like a mother, father, brother, and that kind of stuff and everything. But then like her mother constantly kind of fat shamed her and body shamed her and everything, and like, she kind of like actually cut up her dresses, or like trimmed down her dresses that she kind of like to make them fit her to what she thought was better and everything. So I think that kind of abuse came in, and that kind of like abuse was stuck in her mind and everything as trauma. So that was horrible. Yeah, but I think in her visions that creature is there, and I think that creature is kind of manifested by her own nightmares and her own fears and her own traumas and everything. And then in the end, I think she literally she was, you know, put in like in the real world, she was put into a trance. I think even Eddie actually found her still in her trailer and everything, but then she was in a trance and everything, where she was trapped in her own divisions of her own house. Like her mother had the demon face going on, and then her father like had his eyes and his mouth and his lips sewn shut and everything. Her brother was nowhere to be found, but then there was, you know, rotten food on the dining table and everything. And then she got to the front door and it was boarded up, and then the monster came through and everything. And then yeah, the monster looks creepy as all heck. The monster looks fucking terrifying. I think probably just 10 times more terrifying than, I mean, the Mind Flayer, I think the Mind Flayer had definitely had like the strength and size going for it, but I think with this one, the Vecna, it seems so much more personal. I think the Vecna seems a lot more personal. I think the Mind Flayer was personal in season 2 with Will, but then once it became like a more embodied figure in season 3, I think it became like a more kind of thing for everyone to work together to destroy and everything. But then with this one, with the Vecna, it seems a lot more personal. It seems a lot more traumatic. Like it actually kind of builds and thrives off of trauma. Like I think Chrissy had the history of abuse and the history of trauma, like going forward too. So I think that made it easy for it to maybe possess her or inhabit her or something, or to torment her in the ways that it did and everything, because it literally started off with her hearing her mother's voice and her hearing her mother's taunts and her mother's kind of words and everything, and then the monster came through. So yeah, but then the monster actually used its kind of claws to dig into her skull. Like, I think when that happened, I was like, oh my god, is she like, I think she's being harmed in her vision, but then does that mean that she's actually being harmed in the real world? But then like her body started hovering and went up to the ceiling and everything, and then the claws dug deeper and her eyes, like just stuff happened. Shit just then hit the fan. I think I want to say that, but I think I like it's only really the first episode. I feel like things can definitely get like a whole lot worse from here on out. So I don't even know, but yeah, no, I think so now. Is Chrissy dead? I think I keep asking, is Chrissy dead? But then her eyes got absorbed, and her arms snapped, and her legs snapped in half, and then her jaw dislocated and everything, and then everything broke and everything. So I'm pretty sure, you know, even if like that stuff hadn't happened, I think she'd still be left with with some lasting injuries. But then Chrissy, oh gosh, she's probably dead, right? She's probably dead. The one, I think, one of the few, just like a new character for us to get attached to, and then immediately the writers just decide to yoink her away from us and just give her the worst possible. I think she seemed nice too. She seemed genuinely nice too. I think she even with Eddie, she didn't judge him, she didn't mock him, she didn't berate him, I think she had like trouble remembering the history, but then even after that, I think she even remembered the name of the band and everything, like Corroded Coffin or whatever, and then she actually then slowly started to remember the history between her and Eddie, and she actually seemed like really nice and sweet and everything too. And then of course we can't have that. Of course we can't have a character like this in this story. No, everyone has to be hard-headed and stubborn and ready to battle to the ends of the earth and everything. So, gosh, just I guess we have no choice but to issue an R.I.P. Chrissy. We have to issue like an R.I.P. Chrissy and everything. So, thanks writers, thanks for that. That was really great. That was great. So. Yeah, and last but not least, we had Joyce. So Joyce is remote working. She's remote working from home. So I think remote working has definitely seen more of a spike in the at the beginning of the pandemic and lockdown and everything. I think then more people were moved into remote working and everything. But I think even before then, it was always a thing. It was always an option too. So yeah, but I think she's remote working and she's working from home. I think she's like a telesales marketer or something. I think she's like selling encyclopedias and stuff and volumes of encyclopedias and everything. So I don't know if it's just that or if it's actually like a number of different things. But I think in this one, in this episode at least, I think it showed like her trying to sell encyclopedias to people. So that was fun. But yeah, then she received mail. She received a parcel from Russia. That was the thing. And she even called Murray. Murray made like an almost immediate return too. He was teaching karate from 1 to 3, so he was in his karate get up and everything. So he advised her on how to open the parcel and what to do and everything. So yeah, I figured if you're gonna smash it, you know, first thing I thought of was, okay, we'll use a hammer then. But then he's like, but then if there's an explosive, then obviously you don't want to do that at such close range, because then that could damage you. So if you do it from like a safe enough distance and drop something heavy on it, even like a half full or half empty paint can on it can still get the job done. So yeah, but then she received the doll. She received like a doll. I think it would have been cool to have it be. It would have been genuinely so much cooler to have it be like a Russian nesting doll, because then I think she'd probably maybe even recognize it. But then she'd also kind of have to keep opening up each and every doll until she got to the letter. I think that would have been like a way cooler way to reveal that letter too. Like it's literally inside, like it's literally a message inside a bunch of different dolls too. So I think a Russian nesting doll would have been cooler. But still, regardless, we got something fun with this. But yeah, the letter revealed that Hop was alive. The letter actually revealed that Hop is alive. I mean, didn't get the chance to read the entire. I think I might go back to the episode. I think probably gonna cover it in the next one anyway. But I don't care. I'm gonna read it anyway. I'm gonna find out exactly what the letter actually did say. Hop is alive. He looks fold or foid. Forward. He looks forward to date. He looks forward to date. He looks forward to He looks forward to date. Or yeah, because I think they had a date. They had a date at the end of season 3. They actually had like a date set in mind. He looks forward to date. Pleased to make probably your acquaintance, right? Probably your acquaintance or something. Yeah. See if I can get like a better kind of screen grab of that. I think they should like a zoomed in version of it too. So. I can't. I think probably acquaintance. But yeah, I think he looks forward spelt differently. He looks forward to date. Please to make probably your acquaintance. So yeah, so I think Hop is. I think yeah, I think maybe like if that's not Hop himself directly reaching out, because then he doesn't know how. Maybe that's someone else within the prison system in Russia actively, like someone who knows Hop and someone who knows Joyce and someone who knows the connection between them and someone who's actively reaching out to let her know that Hop is alive. So I think either that or Hop for some reason talking in the third person. Either someone else who knows both of them and knows that Hopper is kind of connected to Joyce and knows that Joyce deserves to know this. Either that or Hopper maybe very discreetly and very kind of decryptedly, or in like a very kind of encryptedly, like maybe like in like a very encrypted manner. Maybe him talking in the third person for some reason. Maybe because he knows he's alive and he knows that he wants Joyce to know that he's alive too. So maybe him talking in like a in the third person and in like a more encrypted manner for whatever reason too. So yeah, either one of those two. But either way, now the word is out. Now Joyce officially has confirmation that Hop is alive and he's in Russia too. So gonna be interesting to see how they move forward with that information too. Like her now knowing the truth and then her telling Murray too, and Murray having the kind of Murray being that guy by nature. He has the tools, he has the resources, he has the know-how. He knows how to approach this kind of like a message. And he himself might kind of think it's some kind of a trap initially, but you know after a while, I feel like he might investigate it further, or maybe he might give it the benefit of the doubt, because then Hopper was still his kind of comrade too. He was still his friend and his acquaintance and his accomplice and everything, so he obviously would want to really find out if there actually is any kind of authenticity to this, so then he would be willing to team up with Joyce and actually find out if Hop is alive and mostly well in Russia, so that'll be fun to see. So yeah, that will be interesting to have a look at. So yeah, right from the get-go. And yeah, so then I think this is the last but not least. I don't know why I didn't mention them before, but 11 and Will, I think in high school, not having the best time, really not having the best time of it. They had to do like dioramas or research on famous historical figures and everything, and like famous historical figures, but also I think people that the world knew as a whole, because I think one of them did Helen Keller, and then I think Will did Alan Turing. So not to say that Alan Turing, you know, isn't an incredibly successful kind of scientist on his own. Like he was a computer scientist. He's the father of modern kind of computer science too. Like his achievements and his work literally went on to influence so damn much in collaboration with other people's efforts too. He was one of the pioneers of modern day kind of computer science and everything, and he's the reason we have so much of what we have today. So not to say that he was just a gay guy or like a gay man, but you know, I mean, again, don't want to read too much into that, but then also I think don't want to like exclusify any other kind of LGBT story potential to Robin exclusively. Like I think with Will, it's been theorized so much. I think since season 1, it's been theorized that Will could go that way or another way or something. You know, and he's kind of had his own story difficulties in the past too, like of him not really kind of feeling the same connection to the other boys, and him kind of like feeling like an outsider in some way, and him also kind of being seen as an outsider by the others in Hawkins too, and him kind of being judged and mocked accordingly for that too. So, you know, I just feel like there's something there that they're actively showing instead of telling us. Like we're with Will actively, you know. I think even in that time too, because I think I feel like it wasn't long before that, because I think was it World War 1 or World War 2 that he actively, I think it might have been World War 1, right? I think, or, let me actually look that up. I think Alan Chung, I think, which war did he actually help kind of, because he helped, like, actually, it was during the Second World War, it was in World War 2, because he died in 1954, and everything, so, yes, I think in World War 2, so I think, yeah, I think that wouldn't be too far behind you. It would be just below or above like 2 decades. It really wouldn't be that far behind from where they are at now. So Alan Turing, his work would still be not only influential to this day, but then it would also be influential like even back then too, like what his work made possible in terms of algorithms and calculations and everything. So then because of that, you know, it would definitely be like a more recent thing too, and I think it would definitely be some information somewhat readily available. I think his work, like his actual his work and his achievements, I think, were definitely kind of made kind of notable. But then I think because of who he was and what he was, I think that kind of stuff would be definitely kept on the down under. But then knowing Will, I think if he really was interested in that many aspects of Alan Turing's life, then maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a chance that he actually research him specifically because he's an actual kind of queer historical icon too. So who knows? But I think the fact that Will chose Alan Turing was something I actually spotted right off the bat. But then in my mind I was like, oh, Will chose Alan Turing. That's interesting. So yeah, okay. So then he chose like an actual poster. He made like an actual poster on Alan Turing and everything. So that was fun. And then Elle made like a diorama of like her kind of life in the cabin with Hop and everything. But then of course I think that was more of like a personal hero and not like someone who was actually explicitly famous to the extent that everyone else was, like Helen Keller, like an actual kind of well-known kind of story, and Alan Turing and everything else too. But regardless, that did not stop the other kids, the other dipshit kids, from, you know, taking advantage of any kind of chance they could to mock her and to bring her. I think especially like Angela, of course, who could forget Angela? Just Angela. She's, I think, yeah, just like that whole posse in general is just gonna be is designed to aggravate and annoy and antagonize and everything. That whole posse is just designed to draw out the worst of feelings in both the characters and us as viewers too. So I have no good feelings about her or her gang. So needless to say, not looking forward to her or her friends in any capacity from here on out. But I have a feeling we're going to be forced to see them regardless. So that's going to be not so fun. But yeah, I think we haven't seen much happening with Will. I think maybe because with Will, he's probably staying on the down low, and he's probably not really kind of garnering too much attention or anything besides from being Jane's sister. But with Jane, I think she actively. I think with Jane too. I think she also like doesn't really have the social skills either. Like I think in season 3, we just barely saw her having the kind of social skills she need to interact with other kids and everything. But then with this one, she's actively in high school. She's actually going out and meeting people and talking to them and everything. And even the way she talks, I think, even like her writing in those letters to Mike too. Definitely kind of they weren't bad and they weren't terrible. I think you could definitely tell that she was actually learning to speak like other kids, and she was actually learning how to kind of formulate sentences that actually kind of sounded kind of normal or socially acceptable and everything. So yeah, but then of course I think it's just her being the new kid and also her being different is just both perfect reasons for the other kids to actually kind of pick on her and make her feel like even more different and feel weird and everything. And so yeah, but then like her face is the smuggest smug face known to mankind, and even her voice, like the absolute kind of you know, like just like the absolute kind of the obviousness to her sarcasm and her kind of like her little prippy cheery kind of voice and everything. Just hearing her talk is just like, you know, yeah. And then like the sarcasm in her voice could not be more just kind of just nails on a chalkboard type of kind of aggravating and everything. So not really looking forward to seeing how much more they incorporate them into Elle and into Jane and Will's story and how much more they're featured in this. But I guess we're going to have to see them, aren't we? We're definitely going to have to see them in order to actually provide more and more kind of horrifying present day kind of, you know, torture stories for Will and for Will and Jane. So I mean, I don't know if I should call her Jane because then she's Elle, but then I mean Jane is her more kind of her people name and her more legal name, but then I think Elle is also like what's been shortened down for Elle, and then but then Elle can also be short for Eleanor or Ellen or that's something else. But I think Jane is I think Jane was her birth name. Jane was actually her birth name, so Jane is the one that I think I mean I can't remember if that, because I think Hop signed the adoption papers at the end of season 2, but I can't remember if that had Jane Hopper on it or Elle Hopper. I think Elle Hopper might work, but then I think Jane would be Jane would be her birth name, so I think I'd actually be taking her back to what she originally had, to what her mother had, but then giving her the last name Hopper from him, so that would make her Jane Hopper. So either way, I think she's Jane Hopper now. She's Jane now. So. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got. Again, these reactions are going to be longer. These reactions are going to be so much longer. I think the reactions themselves the reactions themselves might be slightly longer than my usual ones too. But then the reviews, of course, I think the reviews. I mean, I feel like I'm actually known now for just being the person that just can't shut up. I feel like I'm now known as the one that just can't shut up, the one that makes these super long, hour long reviews, because I'm incapable of keeping things concise and short and sweet, and I'm incapable of actually getting to the point. I ramble, I elaborate, I talk, and talk and everything. So yeah, I mean, if you're not into that, then I'm sorry. I mean, at this point, I feel like, you know, that's probably just the way I am. I just you know, when I talk about stuff I love, I just can't stop talking. So sorry if that annoys any of you, or if that's bothersome to any of you, but I guess that's now just the way things are. So yeah, but regardless, yeah, I think the reviews for these, because of because of how much they show and how like how much longer these episodes are going to be and how much more they're going to contain, the reviews may well end up being longer too. So just wait till you get to season 5. The season finale being 2.5 hours. Wait till you get till you get to the review for that. That's going to be, yeah. So yeah, but either way, that's pretty much what I have. That's pretty much what I have from this first kind of season premiere episode and everything. It was a great introduction, a really solid intro, so can't wait to see where we go from here and how much more we explore and how much more of the characters we get and everything. So gonna be fun exploring this season, exploring it with all of you as well. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So that was Stranger Things Season 4, Episode number 1. So yeah, thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment what you thought of the episode and what you're looking forward to, and any theories you have for the future of the season and everything. Spoiler free, of course. Again, I know plenty of you will have already binged this in like one day, or at least like within the first kind of 24 hours that it drops. So spoiler free, at least for my sake and everything. But yeah, and of course, the full length too. The full length reaction will be available over on Patreon. I think, as with all the full lengths, like any reactions, any scenes you want to see my reaction to that won't make it into the fair use one for YouTube, will definitely be over in the full length. So feel free to go check that one out on Patreon. So that's that, and yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye bye for now.